Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Monday morning to everybody. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly. Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store. Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street. Tony's summer hours, Mondays 11 to 3, Tuesday through Friday 10 to 5:30, Saturdays by appointment only. Visit bestmastertailor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Welcome to the show, Monday edition of the show. Hope everybody had a great weekend. A little on the hot side, of course, and I hope that you got everything done that you needed to get did over the weekend. Coming up a little bit later on the show, former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones is going to be stopped by. The mayor's been feeling a little under the weather, but we're happy to report he is back with us today. Lots to talk about with the mayor. Neither of us, by the way, made the Jeffrey Epstein list, which apparently now doesn't exist. So we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. Also in the news, if you were listening to Metro News Midday on Friday, you knew it 24 hours before it was announced. Head of the Republican Party in West Virginia, Matt Herridge, has resigned. The party will choose a new leader when they meet for their party convention later this month in Morgantown. We'll get into that. Plus, your calls and texts are welcome, as always. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. Want to welcome to the show now, Kanawha County Commissioner Lance Wheeler. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you? I'm
fine. Thank you for being here. First of all, how'd everything go with the ribbon cutting out at Meadowood on Saturday?
Absolutely incredible. We had about 15 to 20 kids that came out with their parents, and to see the joy on their face when they were playing on that new beautiful big playground out in Meadowood Park in Tornado was worth every hard work that we put into it and every penny that we spent.
And there has been a lot of hard work that's gone into that. Not only there, but you talked about last time when you were on the show last week about some of the other playgrounds and stuff like that. A lot of hard work's gone into all that.
We did it at Institute at the Shawnee Sports Complex. We're currently building one at Coonskin Park, and we're going to later put one in at Pioneer Park over in Eastern Kanawha County. So great things are happening in Kanawha County right now.
Now, you're not on the show today, though, to talk about your role as a county commissioner. You're always welcome to do that, but you're here to make an announcement. So I will yield the floor to you.
Well, Dave, thank you for having me on today. And I want to say that it's been an absolute pleasure and honor to serve the citizens of Kanawha County as your county commissioner. You know, in the last 4.5 years, we've done great work together. We've actually been able to make a lot of investments into our water and sewer projects, ensuring that people have potable, clean water right to their house and not relying on a well that's dried up. Making sure that we're looking at economic development and tourism and bringing in the Hatfield-McCoy for the first time to Kanawha County with our dirt bike trails out in Tornado and the Appalachian Outlaw Trails as well out in Eastern Kanawha County. 100,000 acres, the largest ATV park in the country, would be right here in our back door. We've made tremendous strides, and I've been a part of that, and it's something that's incredibly important to me as a native Kanawha Countian from St. Albans. But I want to be in the position that best serves the people of the state of West Virginia. And I think with my experience and discussions with my family, I would like to make the announcement here on the Dave Allen Show that I will be announcing I'm going to be running for State Senate District 8 in the 2026 election.
So how did you arrive at this decision?
Well, I think it comes back to I want to be in that position that best serves the people of West Virginia, and the experience that I've had with the county commission and working with all these tremendous projects of bringing prosperity and healthy lifestyles and just being able to give back to the community has been absolutely incredible. And I believe that I'm the type of person that can bring that to the Capitol and start to work with the state and finding ways that we can continue this growth that we've seen while also decreasing the tax burden through eliminating the income tax.
Talking again with Kanawha County Commissioner Lance Wheeler, who has just announced within the last 30 to 45 seconds he's going to be running for state Senate. Why Senate and not the House? Was there a particular reason why you chose Senate?
Well, I think that the Senate shows that an area that I think I can best serve. That's where a lot of experience lies, and that's what makes the Senate. And I bring that experience. Look at my background just on the county commission of the accomplishments that we've made in cutting waste out of government. Look at KRT and the work that we've put in, saving taxpayer dollars of $1.6 million. Looking at KCAA, our ambulance authority, and telling them we need to be more efficient with taxpayer dollars while still giving the same essential services. And so we've been making strides in saving taxpayer money out of my office, along with my colleagues at the county commission. But I know where money is. I know where it goes. I understand where the important and essential parts of government exist. And if I'm in the Senate, I can ask those tough questions of, just like I did in the county commission, why do we do things this way? I used to get the answer, well, Commissioner, we do things this way because that's how we've always done it. And I think that that's something that we need to bring to the state and start asking those tough questions and finding out where that money we can start saving in our budget through all of our departments. And I know there's ways. Dave, you can't tell me that there's not one red cent of waste in our state government budget. And I think through that, as a senator, and finding those cost-saving, efficient manners in the budget, we can then use that cost savings to transfer that back into the pockets of the taxpayers in the state of West Virginia by eliminating the state income tax, which is an important issue for me.
So how will this impact your role as county commissioner?
Well, I'll still continue to serve as county commissioner. I will be focusing my attention to the entire district. The district is essentially Charleston going into Institute, Dunbar, Nitro, Cross Lanes. It goes into Putnam County with Eleanor and Buffalo. It goes into Jackson right before Ripley, Roane into Spencer, and then all of Clay County, and then coming back that line through Sissonville. And so I think there's a lot of support that I've already received, and I'd like to talk about that in a second. But, these are a lot of the constituents, whether it's in Kanawha County or in our neighboring counties, that I've been serving with and I've been working with, because I believe that high tides rises all ships, and what's best for Putnam County is best for Kanawha County and vice versa. And so I think that I'm going to continue to work with those relationships and build and show the voters of the senatorial 8th District why I'm the best conservative choice for them to represent them at the State House.
You talked about the support that you've received in the past from these people. You said you wanted to touch on that a little bit more.
I've been reaching out to good friends of mine that I've been working with, and we've done great things together, and sharing with them this idea that I wanted to run for state senate, and they were extremely encouraging, telling me that they strongly believe that I was the person that could best serve this district. And I'm proud to say that Delegate Dana Farrell out in Sissonville has endorsed my campaign. Delegate Andy Shamblin out of Nitro has endorsed me. Andy Skidmore, Putnam County Commission President, has officially endorsed me, along with Scott Elliott, Mayor of Dunbar, and Dave Casebolt, Mayor of Nitro, have already endorsed me for this race. I've had personal conversations with them, and they understand that I'm the type of person that even when I'm at the state capitol, I'm going to be having conversations with our local government, with the constituents, whether it's a major issue with PIA, or maybe it's that you just need a branch removed from your yard. I'm going to work to get that taken care of for you, because I'm going to serve you as your elected official and take care of my constituents. And I think that's where a lot of that support comes from. I'm proud to have that support, and we have a lot more coming. Those are just the ones I can announce right now, but there's a tidal wave of support for me to run for state senate, and this is something that I believe my heart has guided me to do. I've talked to my wife about this, and
you better.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be here right now if my wife did not agree that this is the best place for me in helping the state of West Virginia. When I ran in 2020 for county commissioner, I had that conversation with my wife, and she said, Lance, whatever you have to do to serve not just our family, to better our family, but the people of our community, then you have to do it. It's a calling. And I truly believe that. And that's why, I'm here today on the Dave Allen Show with you to announce that I am running for state Senate.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is presented in part by Generations Physical Therapy, the leading provider of outpatient PT in the Tri-State for nearly 30 years. For an appointment, 304-760-5660 or visit generationspt.com to find the closest location near you. With the Republican super duper majority now, that's trademarked by me, by the way, just like with the Democrats all those years, Democrats controlled West Virginia for 83 years, and you saw different factions. And you're starting to see this with the Republicans. And that's no matter who's in power, that's what you're going to see. You're going to have you're going to have far right. You're going to have centrist. You're going to have maybe a little bit more moderate. If you had to describe your overall political ideology as a Republican, what would it be?
Well, I think that I'm a true conservative. I'm a free market capitalist. I'm a pro-gun, pro-coal, pro-energy. I believe that people know how to spend their own money better than the government, and that if we can find ways to cut waste, abuse, and fraud and get that money back into the pockets of the taxpayers, the citizens, and out of the pockets of the government, then that's where we're going to see true economic growth. You look at other states, and Governor Patrick Morrisey's talked about this with his, the backyard brawl. And what that means is let's look at other states and what they've been successful at and use those. Those are good ideas. And I think we've seen that with Tennessee. We've seen that with Florida. And we've seen that with the elimination of the state income tax. This is getting money back into the pockets of hard workers who, come back from work around 5:30, and they take care of their kids, get them to bed, and then they have those hard conversations about finances with their significant other across the kitchen table. These are the conversations that I want to help alleviate and getting that money back to them. And I know that there's no government that's 100% efficient. We can always be better, and we should always strive to be better, whether whichever party has been in control. And so I think that as the state senator, knowing as a county commissioner where money goes, we have a $60 million budget that I help oversee as county commissioner, especially last year when I was sitting as commission president. And I know how the budgets work. I know where the money goes. I know where to find those cost saving measures. And I can assure you that if I have the pleasure of being elected by the voters of the 8th senatorial district to represent them as their state senator, I'm going to go through that budget line item by line item, working with Governor Patrick Morrisey in his office, working with my colleagues in the Senate and the House, and finding ways to get the state income tax fully eliminated responsibly.
You seem to be big. That's like the third time you've mentioned about the state income tax. It's something that's obviously high on your list of priorities.
Well, I think that should be a top priority right now. And I think that it's something that we need to move forward to. We've talked about it for a long time, and we've made great strides. And I think that the reasoning that we've been able to do that is because of the economic growth that we've seen here in the state of West Virginia and how much that has done for our people, for our businesses, and we've been responsible in taking that growth and applying that to reducing the state income tax. But I think that the growth isn't enough. We have to look at our own budget, and we need to find ways that we're going to be able to cut that. I know with my experience in, just the PIA, for instance, at the county commission, I was able to find $440,000 cost savings without affecting our employees' insurance premiums. I was able to find those cost savings in just working with my staff. That's the type of work that I'm going to be doing as state senator for our state budget. I think that's important. I think that the economy is important. And I think getting back into focusing and looking at how can we get businesses here to provide jobs for our citizens, for our kids' future. I think that's what's important, and I think that's what we need to do.
Kanawha County Commissioner Lance Wheeler, who has just announced he will be running for state senate as a Republican out of District 8. And this is the seat that is currently held by Kevin Bartlett, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you being here. It's going to be you're no stranger to campaigns, but you got to put some miles on those shoes. Yeah, I'm sure you're ready to do that.
I am looking forward to meeting the great people of this 8th senatorial district and getting to introduce myself and showing them why I'm the conservative candidate for this Senate race. I think that they're going to see somebody they can relate to, somebody who they can trust, and somebody that when a difficult decision comes up for a vote, they know that I'm going to be making the decision best for them. Somebody they can reach out to that will have probably my personal cell phone number if I continue this trend as I did as county commissioner. Somebody they can have conversations with at Kroger's, at Lowe's, where I frequent a lot for my wife and our projects at home. But this is something that I think that people will be getting excited about, just because I'm going to be a man of the people. I'm going to listen to you. We are going to be starting a listening tour, going around to areas I haven't been in because I'm just a Kanawha County Commissioner right now. And it's just going to be a tour of just listening. What's going on? What do you see? And, what ways can I help? I think that's what an elected official should be doing. I think they shouldn't be just staying in one county only and expecting that's the highest population county, so they're just going to get the election that way. They need to be going to every single person, because every person, every vote matters. And that's the type of campaign you're going to see from me in the next year and a half.
All right. We'll have you back on again. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
It's 9:23. Older adults should protect themselves against severe respiratory disease. Talk to your doctor about flu, COVID-19, and RSV vaccines. Risk less, do more. Get started. Vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Danny Jones coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Buffalo, Eleanor, Hometown, Bancroft, Poca, Nitro, and Union districts to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at putnamcoassessor.com. That's putnamcoassessor.com.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the show, 925. Text says, I had actually a couple of texts here. We addressed that, would Lance be running to take over, and it would be Kevin Bartlett, who is currently in that position. Text says, Wheeler and the County Commission helped Campbell's Creek when we flooded. Come look at our ballpark and our new shelters. They've been over backwards to help our community get back to normal. State of West Virginia did nothing for infrastructure. Thank you, Lance, says a texter. And again, Kanawha County Commissioner Lance Wheeler announcing he will be running for state senate as a Republican in District 8. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. It's a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetroNews.com, under the podcast menu. Metro News Midday coming up at noon today, 13 News. And tonight, live anchor Amanda Barron and me. It's Monday, which means we'll introduce you to another wonderful mayor from across the state of West Virginia. And today just happens to be here in Kanawha County. We're going to introduce you to the new mayor of Marmetz, Francis Christian Armentrout. Also, today, Republican delegate from the 82nd, David McCormick, on the work coming up on the Star City accident in Morgantown. This gentleman, not David McCormick, but the one I'm about to tell you about, is believed to be the youngest Board of Education member in the state, maybe the youngest ever. He's 20 years old. His name is Braden Goff, and he serves out of Mingo County. He's going to join us on the show. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the attempt on the life of President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. We'll get into that and more. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Coming up today, 13 News at the Night Live anchor Amanda Barron and me. Now, on this show tomorrow, The discussions are beginning about the cell phone restrictions about to take place in the state. Each county school system has to come up with a plan on how to handle the cell phone issue. That law, of course, signed into law by the governor. Rick Cavender is the president of the Kanawha County Board of Education. He's going to join us on the show tomorrow. Attorney General J.B. McCuskey is here. And the TBT, the basketball tournament, gets underway Friday night at the Coliseum Convention Center. Jared West, who's coaching the Best Virginia team, is going to join us. Quick news note, Jeff Jenkins with the story, WVMetroNews.com. A shooting in Jefferson earlier this morning happened just before 4:30. This morning on Alabaster Drive, believed to be a domestic-type situation of some sort. Details will follow. Story posted WVMetroNews.com. The Sheriff's Department is investigating that. Also, as we reported on Metro News Midday on Friday, State Republican Party Chair Matt Herridge did indeed announce his resignation as the head of the party. It did not come as a surprise. He also serves as the Commerce Secretary for the governor. No scandal or anything like that. He's just stepping down. The party has their convention later this month, and it's going to be really interesting to see who they name as chair. I'm told it could be quite contentious. Shortly after the Matt Herridge resignation, Senator Jim Justice quickly endorsed Delegate Josh Holstein to be the new chair. I've known Delegate Holstein for some time. He's a good guy. He's out of Boone County. There's word out there that there could be some pretty well-known names that are interested in that, and possibly even First Lady Denise Morrissey, who could be interested. I'm told that. Interesting to see how it all shakes out. Let me welcome into the show former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Man, you're looking good. You're feeling a little under the weather when we talked.
Yeah.
Are you okay now?
Doing a lot better. Just had an infection, root canal type infection. And it can really cause you grief, but I'm in good shape.
You sound great. You come in here, last time that you were here, you could tell you weren't quite Danny. You did good as always, did well, I should say, on the air, but you just weren't quite Danny.
It's when, so much good comes out of so much bad comes out of so much good. Mm-hmm. I don't like President Trump, but I think he did something really great with that.
With the big beautiful bill?
No, with the Iran.
Oh, okay, yeah, with the Iran situation.
Yeah,
okay.
The big beautiful bill. People say it'll cost people Medicare. It's not so much that it'll close small, beautiful hospitals.
There's a lot of concern from the medical community here in West Virginia, but there's also those that would say, Danny, well, that it's. Everybody's saying the sky is going to fall. I am more concerned about the debt and how much money it's going to add, trillions and trillions on to the debt from supposedly the party that was going to battle the debt. Well, you just added between $3 to $5 trillion onto it.
Did you say Senator Goldwater?
What?
That was him.
Yeah.
When he ran against President Johnson, that was, you can listen to that speech. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. So your big concern with the big beautiful bill, though, was the possibility of hospitals closed because they're already having issues getting Medicaid, Medicare reimbursements now.
Mainly Medicaid. It was when Thomas. They defaulted on their bonds, and I was alerted early. I had $75,000 worth of bonds, and I had to take a $10,000 hit, but I would have gotten nothing. Fairmount State Hospital, $60,000. You think you get these high tax-deductible interest rates, and it can be pretty painful. And then the reason we have such good help at the VA in Huntington is because the Ashland Hospital went out.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Iran. You think, again, it's been a while since you've been on the show, so you're obviously in favor of what we did over there? I don't know anybody that's not. To be honest, there's a few here and there, but for the most part, I don't know anybody that's not.
Yeah, as President Nixon would say, it was immoral, but not doing it would have been more immoral.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the worst kind of excitement. I got up and saw, the differences in people's opinion that are flocking to each side is Bill Ackman, Wall Street guy, hardcore Democrat.
Right.
Now he's the leader against Harvard.
Right.
I mean, it's really amazing to watch.
I mean, I don't think anybody, regardless of whether you like President Trump or not, I don't think anybody is going to say the world is a worse place with Iran not having nuclear weapons. The question is, though, is that there seems to be some disagreement as to how much damage we actually did. You know, he says, the president said, and others said, we totally obliterated Iran and their capabilities. Others have said 2 months they're back where they were before. I don't know which side is. You follow this stuff a lot more closely. Where are you?
No, we didn't get it all, but if we delayed it by a year, we delayed it by a year. I mean, and that was known that morning. Mm-hmm. The New York Times wrote it, and I was, texting and talking, and it's the New York Times. Well, they're not always wrong.
No, they're not. They're not.
It's a great newspaper, David.
Well, I read it, and I appreciate you helping me read it, but by gifting me a subscription to it. It was nice of you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Text says, tell Danny that Thomas defaulted on their bonds because of 20 years of gross mismanagement, not adequate reimbursement by the government.
Okay. Life's complicated, but I think it was both. So it's 10-4.
Okay. It's 27 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues, allergies, respiratory problems, and more. Pinnacle offers specialized indoor air quality services for residential, commercial, and industrial type settings. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. You came in this morning when I told you that during the break that you looked good and you sounded good and everything, and you kind of laughed. You said, I've got stories. So we want stories. What can you tell us on the
air? Yesterday I was, my car. Everybody knows where my car parks. And I just got down to my car right there in front of the QD.
Yeah.
And
Corey Downer, yeah.
And there's 4 people across the street. And David, people pretend they don't recognize me, but they recognize me. If you don't recognize me, you're not from Charleston, West Virginia. And so I said, can I help you? He said, we're trying to figure out Los Angeles, what is so. Oh, they sell art. Wow, that's neat. And then they walked over to talk to me. And I found out it was Governor Morrissey's new appointment to be Adjutant General.
Okay. All right.
And he said, he's from Wyoming. And I said, wow. My biggest mentor in life was Jerry Spence. He practiced in Jackson Hole. And he said, yeah, I practiced in Jackson Hole. I knew him well. I said, wow. And he said that we heard that you all have a homeless problem. We've always had a homeless problem. And I think he figured out by that time who I was. And he says, yeah, they said there was a great mayor here for a long time. And once he left, the homeless problem exacerbated. And I said, of course, that time I'm looking up in the sky and smiling. Mm-hmm. And he says, I said, that's not true, but thank you. And he says, you're Mayor Danny Jones? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm the new Adjutant General. And I said, I told him I was in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, got drafted, which he had a hard time. He struggled with that. Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful conversation. But I had to tell him, we've had a homeless problem for 50 years. I walked down with my father down Summer Street. Summer Street used to be real rough, David. Mm-hmm. And I would see these men on walkers with their cups out trying to get, and if they got a coin, they were lucky. And I asked my dad, I said, what's wrong with that? They probably got hurt in the war. And I said, can I put some money in there? And he looked at me funny. Okay. I had a pocket full of change. Mm-hmm. It was, this city has changed so much.
For the better or for the worse?
Both.
I think that's fair.
For a guy like me, for a guy like me and Jerry Waters, it's.
I think that's. I think it's probably fair. Last week on the show, I had the mayor of Clarksburg on. On the midday show, we do a segment called Mayor Monday, and I had the mayor of Clarksburg.
Italian guy.
I didn't ask him what his lineage was.
What's his name?
You asked me too quick, Danny. I'll get it for you. He was on the show. He made quite an impression, but I forgot his name already. But he's the mayor of Clarksburg. I'll get it for you here momentarily.
Okay, that's all right. Talk about stereo.
Yeah, I'll get it here for you. But anyway, he was talking about the homeless issue in Clarksburg, and he kind of reminded me of some of the things he was saying of you, because I mean, he sounded to be pretty hardcore about the homeless issue and about tent cities and things of that nature, and about flying drones over top of them to see them. And he said, I mean, I didn't really, when I do these segments, Danny, I don't particularly, it's not hard hitting stuff. I just go in what's going on in your town and, that sort of thing. And he's the one that brought it up. I said, I said, ask him something about some of the pros and cons. And he said, well, we have a huge homeless issue. And he talked about the tent cities and things that they have in Clarksburg. And he said, as soon as we see them, we tear them down. And it kind of reminded me, you and I didn't really know each other that well at the time, but some of the things that you did and that you talked about.
Yeah, probably overreacted, but...
You think you overreacted?
I think that's something the citizens in Charleston decided I didn't, because they reelected me. But it was tough. It was really tough. What happened when that place under the bridge over there by Piggly Wiggly, I mean, Piggly Wiggly was, their leakage, I think it went up to about 10%.
Jim Malfrageau was his name. Malfrageau is his name. That's his name. That's his name.
There we go.
Yeah. And actually somebody else just texted me that. Yeah, that's the name. I completely forgot it in the last week. If you had to do it over again, you said you overreacted. Would you do it over again, the way you handled the homeless issue?
Yeah. If I have the biggest regret I have about being mayor is the guns.
Talk about that.
Well, because people that are opposed to you in the biggest way will distort in the biggest way. And I was talking about the Martin Luther King Center.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's what they put guns where there's a school. And we couldn't have done anything about it unless I'd have sued personally, because the city can't sue the state because we're a creature of the state.
I remember that story well. And what year was that approximately? Because I wasn't doing this. But I remember it being a big controversy because you just didn't want guns in the community center, and before you know it, you've become the most anti-gun person on the face of the earth. The way that it was the way that it was presented to people.
Danny Bloomberg, which if I was against me, I'd done pretty close to the same thing. We would not have won that case had Keith Morgan's group not sued us, because he's very litigious and I remember they were at every single precinct, trying to beat me that day. And his son was out there, and I felt so bad. I said, "You're out in front of the high school I went to." And then I went around the corner, and he pointed to his father, and there was Keith. And I turned around, I came back. I had to can I get you some water? I mean, it was tough, but hell, I won 72%.
I know you're not going to do this, but if you ever even entertained the thought, you're shaking your head, and I'm not even asking a question. Have you ever entertained the thought of maybe running again?
No, I think it was a cloud. It's just
you're out.
No, my goodness, it's not a. It's the most self-absorbed thing you can do, and you really hurt people.
All right, we got to take a break. It's 19 minutes away from 10, so we'll take a break. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
When I set out to build our firm, it was built for greatness. It was built for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just build us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on There's a reason people are making the switch to Members Choice West Virginia Federal Credit Union. It's the credit union difference. We're a not-for-profit, which means we return value to our members with lower loan rates, higher savings returns, and highly personalized service. Our field of membership covers 20 counties across the state of West Virginia. So if you're hearing this, you're probably eligible to join. Learn more about becoming a member today by visiting memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Trading in your business fleet or personal vehicle for a new one? Donate your used vehicle to Good News Mountaineer Garage and get the best tax deduction possible and the satisfaction of knowing your donation changed the life of someone in need. Good News Mountaineer Garage repairs donated vehicles and provides them to qualified West Virginia families, giving them access to employment, safe, affordable housing, health care, and other vital necessities, and putting them on the road to economic independence. Call 1-866-GIVE-CAR today for Good News Mountaineer Garage. 866-GIVE-CAR.
Welcome back to the show. 9:43, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley, offering custom-tailored trainings to supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu. Text says, Dave and Danny talking homelessness again on the radio. Still not the major problem. I don't think I did say it was a major problem. Did I say it was a major problem?
No,
no, it is a major problem. I don't think, is it the biggest problem? No, I don't.
I think the biggest problem was the needles.
Yeah. So you got a project you're working on. After telling me on this show a couple of years ago, I asked you, had you ever considered writing a book? And you said no. And by golly, you're writing a book.
And right after that, Charlie Ryan called me.
Okay. So talk about the process of writing this book, what all is going to be in it, what's not going to be in it. Spill it, man.
I'm spending a lot of time in my apartment, typing, and because I'm very slow. And it's the most exciting thing I've ever done.
So is it basically just your autobiography? Or, is it just the whole life, just the political side? What is
Lots of pictures.
Okay.
There'll be so many illustrations in this book. And
similar to the pictures you had when you had your restaurant downtown?
A lot younger.
Okay.
And as many of my relatives and friends as I can get in it. And,
okay.
George Jarrett and Otis and folks. And I remember first time Hoppy heard Don March mention Otis, he thought he was joking. And he didn't know how important Otis was to this community.
Yeah. So when's it going to be done, you think?
He said by December.
Okay.
But we'll see.
So what is your writing process like? I always like to ask authors this, whether they're a newspaper columnist or a novelist. Do you just sit down, or do you walk around with a legal pad writing stuff down? Do you sit down behind a computer or type? How does Danny write?
Not since I was in theater.
Okay.
David, after I was in theater, I never made a written speech.
Mm-hmm.
I was so much better when I just winged it.
Yeah.
I remember walking, there was a black female sorority in the Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what I was going to say till I turned the handle on the knob and I saw those folks, and boom.
What'd you say to them?
Humor.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember, but and humor is risky.
Trust me.
It's risky.
I know. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get any regularly priced large 18-inch pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi, no additional charge. Find your nearest Huston at HustonsPizza.com. So does it start out with like little Danny as a kid and work your way up? Or
yeah, my descendants were on the Mayflower. I had more descendants on the Mayflower than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Where's your family from originally?
Well, England and Wales. England, that bunch.
So when you sit down and you got a good story to tell, do you question, okay, maybe I shouldn't put this in here, maybe I should change the names? Because a lot of times people will do that. They do composite characters, to represent your friends growing up. You have a friend named Billy who may or may not have existed, but you can put all those different traits on this one character. How do you do it?
Oh, it's a composite of things, and it's in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one time when I was in Nitro, I wrote all those commercials, and I was laying in bed at night, and I thought about pushing baby back ribs, because anything else, they're not really ribs, pork baby back ribs. And I thought, it talked about so many restaurants that were pushing ribs that didn't sell real ribs. And I said, if you go to a restaurant, order baby back ribs. And if they don't have it, try some other item on the menu. Or try the restaurant that in 1991 and 1992 sold more baby back ribs than any restaurant in West Virginia, and that place to go is in Nitro.
What is it about baby back ribs that make them so much better?
The density of the closeness of the bone to the meat.
Okay, all right. So, you going to put recipes in this book too, or talk about? You got to talk about your time in the restaurant business.
That'll be the next book.
Okay. So you went from not writing a book at all to writing now like a series of books.
As much information I can get out there. Life is about trying to affect as many people as you can affect in our life, trying to make the biggest mark we can make.
Were there things when you were sitting down to write that you thought, better leave that out?
Well, not very much. I mean, I'm pretty, Hoppy said you're pretty bad about that.
I mean, that's one of the things I appreciate about you in our friendship is that you don't take yourself so seriously all the time. I've said about myself, nobody makes fun of Dave more than Dave makes fun of Dave. And I kind of like, there's probably a reason. I don't know, a psychologist would have a field day with that, I guess, or whatever. But I just wondered, because you have led a very, very storied life. I mean, the stories that you have told me, since we've in the past few years we've known each other, some of them I'm thinking, you may not want to put that one in the book, Danny.
No, it's you obviously, like I said, truth needs to be beautiful, and but one example, when I was racing it in April 1969, I was 18 years old, and I was running that Nomad down at Winfield, and a guy ran me, and I didn't lose any race. I only lost in the eliminations, and I crossed the finish line, and because that left lane had a dip in it, which I was very aware of, he went off the side of the track and he died. I mean, it's tough stuff.
How'd that affect you?
Not so much in the beginning, but, at that time I was the talk of all the white barbershops. And it's in that Three Things if you want to watch it on Facebook.
Okay.
But it was pretty dramatic.
Did you ever, you were served in the House. Of course, you were sheriff, mayor multiple times. Did you ever think about running for governor, or maybe Senate, or
no, lots of pressure to run for governor. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so and some people that you don't think they liked you. Otis called me, of all people.
And explain who Otis is to people.
Otis
who don't know.
Lowry.
Yeah.
I mean, my middle son's named after him. His name is Jarrett Lowry Jones.
Mm-hmm. But people called you and wanted you to run for governor.
Unbelievable amount of people. And Joe was already governor, and I knew he was aware of it, and he came up. Joe will go anywhere.
Joe Manchin, we're talking about.
Yes, and he came up to the third floor of City Hall. We go into our new council meeting room, and only the press and two other people were there, and I said, let me make this very clear. I don't want his job, and he doesn't want mine. The most important thing that we can do are the things people don't know about.
Talking with Danny Jones, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Fresh Air Filters of Taze Valley. Fresh Air, your trusted filter experts for both your home or business, 304-440-1104, or visit freshairfilters.us, because everyone deserves fresh air. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
Get ready for the upcoming high school football season by downloading the Metro News television app. See summer previews. Plus, watch Talkline, Sportsline, 3 Guys Before the Game, Metro News Middays, and Hotline right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get the Metro News television app from the Apple App Store or Google Marketplace. Metro News Television is powered by the University of Charleston, the West Virginia Department of Tourism, Dan Cabot Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, WVU Medicine, and Trojan Landing and Marine and Power Sport.
At Peyton Law Firm, we fight for every bit of compensation you deserve. You need a law firm that will fight for you. Tom and Harvey Peyton have more than 50 years of combined experience helping West Virginians win millions from greedy insurance companies. Let us spread that success to you, handling injury and wrongful death claims of all types. If your injury is serious to you, it's serious to us. Visit PeytonLawFirm.com and let our family fight for yours.
Foundation issues? Wet basement? Drainage problems? Contact Foster Foundation Repair. Locally owned and operated by a licensed professional engineer, Foster Foundation Repair provides rock-solid service with certified results. Contact us today for a free evaluation. Foster Foundation Repair. Rock-solid service. Certified results. FosterFoundationRepair.com. West Virginia Contractor License WV061105.
You've done it again, finance teams. You closed the books, and it went fine. Sure, some expenses were missing receipts, but that's fine. Stayed late to process invoices by hand. It's all fine. But don't you deserve better than fine? With Ramp, expenses are submitted with a text, invoices are coded automatically, and everything is connected to your accounting system, so you can close the books without all the busy work. Switch your business to Ramp.com and love finance again.
7 away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Off night tonight for the Birds. They begin the series tomorrow night at Gomart Ballpark against the Blue Crabs of Southern Maryland. Tickets, promotion schedules, gear, merchandise, and more. Visit DirtyBirdsBaseball.com. Danny Jones is with us, and we had a text here that said you did not overreact to the homeless issue. So
yeah, that would be the popular... when I say this, and people get upset, but David, I'm not sure of much, but I'm sure of this. People make a living off this. Kanawha County Collective.
You're not the only mayor that's, you're former mayor now, but you're not the only person that said that. About their particular towns.
Yeah, it's, and unfortunately for us, they sent them here. It's not as bad as you think it is because it's coming in from the outside. And when the needles, that's what and some of the smartest people weren't capable of seeing the truth. I had some real help. I've got Reverend Ely and JB, and it was a minority. And then Steve Cooper, smarter than most people I know, we did that sting over there, and it was gone.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk to you about something else that happened when you were away from us for a couple of weeks. Of course, we've talked about the big, beautiful bill, but also More Capito, your good friend, has been potentially is going to be the new attorney for the Southern District. The timing of that, though, here's what I said about it, and I'm going to get your reaction because people said, well, Shelley Moore Capito sold out whatever for her son to get that appointment. Two things. Shelley Moore Capito was always a yes vote on that. If she didn't have a son named Moore Capito, she's a yes vote on that. And Moore Capito, this was like the worst kept secret in the world. This has been talked about for 6 months or more that President Trump was going to try to get him that position. There's no quid pro quo here, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously we live in pretty frightening political times, and Shelley's human, and she's a great senator. And I posted about that, and I put big news. That's all I said in the article. And then, oh, my goodness, they came after me. And finally, I waited a day to respond.
But you agree with me, that both those things were going to happen no matter what.
Sure, and what people don't know is it was Don Jr. that kept Moore from being governor.
In what way?
Well, his PR guy made a post negative called Shelley a rhino, and that was it for Moore.
We hear that term rhino thrown out there all of the time. And I had somebody, of course, on, as I mentioned earlier, on Saturday, the head of the Republican party in the state, Matt Herridge, resigned.
What a nice guy.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy. And he handled it, my dealings with him have always been great. But somebody commented when we shared the story that they hope, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, we hope that we get a real Republican as the head of the party. Well, number one, you're not going to get a Democrat. Pushkin's not going to come in and run the Republican Party. But I think what they were alluding to was we don't want a rhino in there. We don't want a rhino. That term just bothers me for some reason, because it's like somebody decided that you are not you, but you are the decider of what a true Republican is.
Yeah, and Hoppy and I, we were called that incessantly, and we're not Republicans. Mm-hmm. I got out of the party because of that.
When did you leave the Republican Party?
2016, when I started taking Trump seriously. He was so incredibly funny until that gathering down in Mobile.
What happened in the gathering in Mobile?
Well, I mean, they were supposed to have 600 people. 30,000 showed up. I said, whoa, this is serious. And Jeff Sessions, of all people, endorsed him.
Right.
First United States Senator.
If you saw the post that the president put on Truth Social yesterday, and I shared it on the Dave Allen radio page and also on my page, there's two schools of thought here. I have Greg Thomas on the show. Greg Thomas says, well, he knows that people thinks he's crazy. He just does that as a diversion. He's really, really not. Possibly something to be said for that. But I for one, wish our president, no matter who it is, would go off social media. They have no business being on there, and it just makes him look stupid. Now, I'd say the same thing especially if it were Biden. Your thoughts on that?
That's how he crowds the space. That's how he fills up the space. And Eric and I, when I was working here, Eric and I talked about, because Eric really liked it. Mm-hmm. And he puts everything in caps. And we figured out he was always misspelling words on purpose.
Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was then. He probably not now, but he did.
And the capitalization and that's capitalizing words that aren't supposed to be capitalized and that sort of thing. But look, it doesn't affect his base at all. I mean, that's their right.
It's getting closer. Epstein is a big deal.
All right, quickly, Epstein.
Oh, shoot.
You scared me when you said that, Danny.
No, Professor Dershowitz. He's getting his statement. He's one of the smartest people in the world.
All right.
What a great man.
All right. So the Epstein list.
Oh,
it looks bad on the president.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I agree. Danny, it's always a pleasure. Can't wait to have this book, man.
All right. We're working on it. It'll be a while, but we're working on it.
By Christmas, maybe?
Well, that'd be my Christmas present.
There you go. All right. We'll talk to you next week. Former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones. Rick Caviter, school board president, on the show tomorrow. Attorney General J.B. McCuskey will be here tomorrow, and we'll talk a little TBT. I'll see you later today on Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W283AQ Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.